All right, welcome to the Krueg Show, everybody. Little Tuesday night edition of the show. Hope everybody's having a great day. We're down in Santa Clara today. Little 49ers action. Getting ready for a Thursday night Niners Seahawks tilt with the NFC West title on the line. Get into that. Giants have added another pitcher. Is that a good thing? We'll get into Farhan's comments about the Bay Area hurting the Giants' chances of signing free agents and what people think of that comment. I think that's kind of some interesting stuff. And, of course, we are going to get into your Golden State Warriors, who did me a solid tonight.
Well, yeah, me too.
Why is that? Because occasionally, I'll wager. And tonight was that night. And I heard, I was in the car and I was driving back with Rye, and I heard that no Wiggins and they're playing Milwaukee. And I said, what's that spread? The spread was like 3.
Oh, really? That close?
Joke.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe the only that,
oh my goodness,
I parlayed it also because it was equally stupid, I thought, is Celtics only favored by 4 versus the Lakers tonight.
They're up by 15
what was
at
the final
half.
there?
I know.
It's a halftime. It's
Yeah, they're up like
65-50. They're up 15 at half. Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was wrong too. I figured, on that one, I figured somebody's got to be out for Boston that I'm not aware of.
Nope.
Let me check that one real quick. Let's see who's not going in that one. No, everybody's going.
Everyone's there.
Grant Williams in. Brogdon's playing.
Robert
Williams
is
isn't
out.
there, but it's because
Robert Williams is out.
They lost. They got blown out by the Clippers too. So I think that everyone was
Tatum's
assuming
got
they're
24 at the half, by the way, in that game. So Warriors, yeah. So it was Bucks -3 in Milwaukee, and the Warriors are 2-11 on the road. Are you kidding me? I'm taking that all day and every day. I mean, the Warriors are 0-8 on the road against teams that are 500 or better. 0-8.
Is that good?
They do not win on the road against good teams. And so I thought that number was going to be 7, 8, something like that. When I saw it was 2.5, 3, I'm like, oh my God. Then I got the late word that there would be no Wiggins. And I was like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. And Milwaukee came out and took it to them.
Yeah.
They were up 38-27 after 1. So they had an 11-point lead. They had a 12-point lead at the break. They upped that lead in the third quarter to 17 or whatever it was, 16. And then wind up winning 128-111. Fourth quarter was 34-33 Golden State. But, I mean, what can you say? I mean, I thought they did a really nice job. There's a lot of players in the NBA who are underrated. One guy who's super underrated is Javon Carter. Javon Carter was one of my favorite players at West Virginia. I mean, this guy is just a beast. He's tough, 6 feet, 6'1" and change, but muscled up and tough. And he's just a hard guy to shake. And they went boxing 1 with Carter on Steph, and I thought he did a really nice job. If you looked at the box score and you say, Javon Carter, 28 minutes, he had 4 points. Yeah, he was plus 18. He had 4 rebounds. He had 3 assists. He had 3 steals. He only turned it over himself 1 time. And for the most part, he kept Steph Curry in check. I mean, Curry shot 3 of 10 from beyond the arc, only had 1 assist on the night in 27 minutes. Curry was -20, finished with 20.6 boards and an assist. But guys, that was my take on this one, was just, Giannis is Giannis, and he's badass, and he was continues to play well. But Javon Carter's defensive effort, and then Bobby Portis, was the guy that Golden State tried to get in the offseason, and he had 25 and 11 off the bench in 32 minutes. Big night for Bobby Portis. Big night for Giannis. Big night for Middleton. They got some good points out of Grayson Allen. But if you can keep Steph Curry down and there's no Wiggins on the road, this Warrior team is so beatable. So that's the way it went tonight. What'd you guys think of the game?
This was kind of expected, and the Warriors would have a tough time with Milwaukee, tough matchup even with Wiggins. So that's probably their toughest roadblock, in my opinion, to repeating.
Well, I mean, also they didn't even have Drew Holiday, who
who shuts down guys.
He doesn't shut down Steph, but still, it's just bodies. I
think it's to me, it's either Milwaukee wins it. One of three teams wins it. I think Warriors, Milwaukee, or
Boston.
Those.
I'm kind of a Milwaukee hater a little bit. I liked them a couple years ago to win the championship, but it's completely overblown how it's like, they're treated like they're, the Warriors, like they've won all these they won one title versus a Phoenix team that honestly I just don't think was that good, and it was like, kind of bubbly still, and I don't know, it could have lost to the Nets. Giannis is a great player, but I don't know.
Bloatus is out. Oh, come on.
I mean, Milwaukee shot 32 free throws.
We'll be in Niners.
That's a huge difference. Milwaukee out rebounded Golden State. What was it? 55-37. And then Milwaukee won they won the second chance points. They won the fast break points. Wasn't a big night for Poole. Wasn't a big night for Steph. Hopefully, I think most Warrior fans probably hoping Klay Thompson would go off. Klay was 6 of 16, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. He had 14. 5 and 8 for Looney, only 2 points from Green. This is the other thing. Golden State, needs Green to give them, some points. He doesn't have to be, a double digit guy, but he's got to give them 8. 8 to 10 would be ideal for Draymond, and to score 2 points in 23 minutes, they need a little bit more offense from him, I think. What bothers you more, the 111 against a really good defensive team like Milwaukee, or the 128 and that they gave up to Milwaukee?
I think Milwaukee they're blazing hot. I think outside of Giannis, their team shot like 70%.
Yeah, they just were hitting everything, and
55% is what the Bucks shot for the game as a team,
and Giannis shot 9 of 26.
Yeah, he was horrible. Everybody else was hit one shot from outside. Everything else was.
Milwaukee dominated them on the defensive glass. They were even on the offensive glass, but it was 43-25 on the defensive glass. That's hard to overcome. Milwaukee did turn it over 23 times, so it wasn't a perfect night from their perspective. But 16-7 Bucks on the fast break points, plus 18 on points in the paint. That's right. Right there, they dominated them inside. Points in the paint, rebounds. So Golden State's got to bounce back quickly tomorrow. Let me turn that off here. But there we go.
Hey, Vicky, shout out to Vicky Pellet. She said, "Hey, Dan, I made the playoffs in fantasy. And yes, you did. Congratulations. Beating Nick Martinez by 1.7 points. Winner made the playoffs, loser went home." Vicky,
wow, you really got the clutch gene.
Yeah,
and I'm really glad we colluded when I sent you Pollard and Singletary. I think Pollard got the job done this week.
We shouldn't joke about that since we've already had
no collusion. I gave that was a decent trade, but
we got this in Carlo P. Warriors look terrible. Mark Graves, losers make excuses is Farhan. All right, so I don't know. Do you guys? How are we going to quickly pivot off of Warriors into other stuff?
Yeah,
or do you guys want to?
We should talk. Maybe I say give it another 20 minutes of Warriors.
I like Bloatus's intro, man. His come on, morons, let's talk Niner football.
All right. I'm down to talk Niner football.
I love Bloatus. I know it's Mr. BM.
Permaculture now says bought some more New York style sausages.
Lotus, but
Connecticut for spaghetti tonight. The hot style are the business. Business. I haven't used that one in a while. Yeah, man, I love these sausages. They're the business. How the hell are you guys? We're good. We're good. We were down in Santa Clara today. Danny took his dog to get some get cleaned up in Arizona, right?
Yeah,
Get the nails trimmed. You get that dog.
Yeah,
You
got a
put
bath.
the unstink on the dog.
Yeah, got the bath and got the nail trim and the what they call the Furminator, something to help them not shed.
Yeah,
so
I've got the Furminator. It's a little. You got to be kind of careful with it though, because
I got one of those brushes too.
Oh,
They give them some kind of Furminator bath or something. It's supposed to help. It doesn't work that great. I mean, the dog still shed.
As far as like, I will say, I'm down to pivot, but just this game doesn't mean. It was just Milwaukee also clearly was super up for this game. I don't think the Warriors were nearly as up for it.
I'll say this about the game. It was good to see Patrick Baldwin hit his first 2 shots from the 3-pointer. You know what, Dan? That was like against real guys. That's why I didn't understand and why I kind of feel like Milwaukee wanted to make a statement or something, because they left Giannis in when they were up like 24 in the fourth. They left him in for the first like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, okay, they're going to sub him out. Okay, they subbed him out, and then they brought like Middleton and Brook Lopez and all these guys, all the starter guys back in. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Was needing some minutes. He hasn't played for a while, so they're trying to get him, some court time. But Warriors got a game.
Was great night. Too.
Warriors got a game tomorrow night against Indiana. They're not going to, once the game was pretty much over, Kerr pulled all those guys. The biggest thing tonight was what the heck was, especially the one official. He called 3 tees in the game. There was like 6 or 7 tees tonight. It's like, what the heck, man? It's like these guys are just teeing guys up left and right, but we'll see. But I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned.
Are they going to take down the Pacers? Pacers just took them out. Pacers lost a couple nights ago at home to the Miami Heat. Yeah. Indiana's 8-6 at home this year. They're, it's interesting. The Pacers are 500. Basically, the Warriors are 500.
Yeah.
So, and both teams, I think, had designs on being better than 500. I'm interested to see this next game because I don't know if you guys caught any of Pacers Heat, but Tyrese Halliburton, who I love Tyrese Halliburton. He had the worst night of his life. I don't know if you guys saw this. He shot 0 for 9 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. He played 33 minutes and had 1 point. He had 1 point and 6 assists and 3 rebounds. So Halliburton's looking to bounce back. And, I thought that when the Warriors played the Pacers in San Francisco, Nembhard just had the night of nights. He's playing well. I mean, the Gonzaga kid, he had 18 the other night against Miami.
Really good. 31
and then, Miles Turner, the more I watch Miles Turner, the more I think, man, he would make a great Warrior. He had 15 and 13 against the Heat the other night. So
I like Miles Turner. He can spread the floor too, which is nice. Yeah.
They got a bunch of guys who can shoot it.
Yeah.
Buddy, I mean think about this team. They got Buddy Hield, he can shoot. Nembhard, Miles Turner,
Matherin's the guy.
Naismith from Colorado drains. I mean, he's a phenomenal shooter. Who's the guy?
Matherin's probably the front runner for Rookie of the Year right now. The guy's
I love Matherin.
Walking bucket.
The Arizona kid.
Yeah,
he's been fantastic. So interesting team. I mean, I think they're a talented team that and you catch them on the wrong night, they can make you look bad. So, I'll say this for Golden State. They got to get off to a good start to have a chance on the road. It seems like, on the road they'll hang, but you feel like they're doing better than they are, but they're just like in the game. And then as soon as the other team spurts and creates a little separation, then you just get the feeling that Golden State doesn't have the ability to really get off the canvas and come back. Maybe in certain games, but it just, I never felt like at any point they were coming back in the second half. Did you guys?
No, I didn't. I didn't. They didn't have it in them. They had their best shot was when they closed it within 6, minute and a half to go in the first half, and they even had a chance to cut it lower than 6, and they fumbled the ball up, turned it over, and Milwaukee comes down, scores 6 straight points, 12 at the half, and you kind of felt like that was it, if they don't come out and close it really quick in the third quarter. And, they blew them out in the third quarter. So, yeah.
Okay, so on to Niners. Let's get to Niners. Niners are 9-4. Seahawks are 7-6. Seahawks are not playing well. Niners are playing really well. Niners roll in there on Thursday night on a game that will be on Prime Video. The Thursday Nighters are on Prime from Lumen Field there in Seattle, Washington, where they may or may not pipe in noise. I think tomorrow night I'm going to try to track down Softy Mahler and see if we can do a live stream with Softy Mahler and just get his thoughts on the Seahawks, because the Hawks, had a great thing going this year. John Schneider had a great draft, and Kenneth Walker, Tariq Woolen, the two
Speaking
tackles.
of Walker, is he going to be? Is he out for tomorrow? Walker,
if he is, he's not, if he plays, he's not going to be 100%.
Yeah, that's good for the Niners.
But the interesting thing I think in this game is Seattle cannot stop the run. And if you're the 49ers, do you have a heavy dose of the run in this game? Just try to run it down their throat and not take too many chances and burn away the clock and try to just pound them into submission? Or do you throw it all over the place with your newfound superstar rookie quarterback, Brock Purdy? I will say this. Here's my observation on the Niners. They've got a great defense, and they've had a great defense all year. And it's really hard to score on them. If you get 20, you're fortunate. You're probably not scoring in the 30s. So their defense is going to keep you down. They now have an offense with Brock Purdy that I think can score touchdowns in the red zone. And look at the last two games. The offense under Purdy has produced points. So I like the 49ers, not on the teaser, not on the money line. I like the Niners given the 3 with the spread. And I don't know if
4 now.
Is it 4? I don't know about the total, because the Niners are starting to score a little bit, and you never know in a division game. But I would say bet the 49ers tomorrow for sure. Yes, it's Brock Purdy's first road game, but Purdy's playing really, really well. And even if he plays poorly for a series or two, to me, the Niner defense can cover that. So I love the combination of Brock putting up points and this defense barely allowing points. And I think the margins for some of these games down the stretch could be bigger than people think in the Niners' favor.
I mean, Niners would be, if they can get up by 2 scores, whether it's 10-0 or 14-0, it just puts a whole different type of pressure on.
They got a lot of DNs.
Yeah. So just get those, don't let up. I loved how Kyle didn't just go for a field goal Sunday at the end of the half, had the play called for the double move by Ayuk, got the touchdown. That just showed a little bit of difference. They were already up 21-0. And they could have easily just played it safe, ran it down to 2-3 seconds, called timeout, and went in half 24-0. But he's showing like a little bit of go for the jugular. I love that. And I've been wanting to see that in Kyle for the last couple years, really. And just put the hammer on these guys. They have the weapons to do it.
I'm a little, I don't know. The thing that scares me, the 3 things that scare me are A, Pete Carroll kind of has ownage on the Niners. B, Brock Purdy's oblique. I mean, if his arm is already not like the greatest arm, and if he has an oblique and he's not able to get that torque going, that could be a problem. And then C, just the fact that it's a Thursday night game and it's in Seattle, Thursday night games are always wonky, and then you take into account the fact that it's
the home team.
Yeah, I think they do favor the home team. But
Seattle's not going good, and the 49ers are really going good.
Who needs the win more?
I guess you could
Seahawks
say Seattle
definitely need it. They're out. They lose they have no shot at the division. they'd only have a shot probably at the 7th seed, and that's going to be iffy if they lose.
Yeah.
One of the things that they pointed out during the broadcast that I think is really interesting is that, Brock Purdy, has practiced against the Niners scout team, as a scout team quarterback against the Niners defense, and he's gotten reps against the number 1 defense in the league.
Yeah.
Right.
And that probably has helped him improve quite a bit.
Not just that, the fastest defense in the league. So, I mean, just naturally getting out there, things are going to slow down just because how could you be faster?
I mean, to me, when he threw that dime to McCaffrey to make it 21-0 when McCaffrey beat Logan Ryan, that and then took a big hit after the release. I mean, that at the pylon to make it 21-0, that was really an impressive throw. I mean, that really was.
Oh, no.
What happened to Larry?
Oh, no. It turns out he might be lazy.
Well, Larry, lazy.
No, I don't know what just happened, but so I don't know, Dan, where are you? Obviously, Larry is kind of leading the hype train for Purdy. I'm like pretty confident in him, surprisingly, but like there's gonna be like he's gonna have
he's
the
a
game.
rookie. He's human. He's gonna make mistakes. He made mistakes at Iowa State. He threw picks at Iowa State. Picks are going to happen. This is the NFL. He's just got to, be in a situation where Kyle's got to try and put them in a situation where you're not putting the game on Purdy's shoulders to win it. Last minute drive. That's why he's got to, in my view, be aggressive when you're up still, get points on the board and then turn it over to the defense. So
in a funny way, though, it's almost like I wouldn't mind if they lost and Purdy kind of played poorly, because that would give him a week and a half, a mini bye before the next game. And it's like he's going to have to face that adversity at some point. So, if he loses a big game in Seattle with insane crowd noise and he's kind of injured and maybe throws a couple picks and they look like we all need to see how he's going to bounce back from that kind of thing. Cause that's, that's
I mean,
important.
I would personally rather have it not be this game, because I really have been kind of, I look at a whole season.
Just dropped off. There we go.
Yeah. I look at the whole picture differently. I like to see if he's going to have a bad game, I'd rather have it be against Washington or Vegas, the Raiders, because this game, to me, if they win, it clinches the division and it gives the Niners the ability to rest certain guys instead of playing. For example, if Bosa's got that hammy,
yeah,
and it's questionable.
But are you going to gun for the 2 seed? I feel like
I'm going to let the 2 seed let it play out naturally. I'm not going to go for it in the sense that I'm going to play guys that shouldn't be playing when they need the rest. But if guys are healthy, heck yeah, they can get that 2 seed because they can win out.
We're only 1 game behind Minnesota.
And they got the tiebreaker.
I think they are going to win out. Jaguar 56 says $2. If the Niners beat Seattle, would you rest some players? I personally would find a guy or two to like for example, I don't know if I'm resting guys across the board, but I might, positions where I have other guys, like I got Tevin Coleman, I got Jordan Mason. I'm not taking a chance that I'm going to get Christian McCaffrey hurt going into the playoffs. So McCaffrey would be like one guy I might give a break to. George Kittle might be another. The drop off from Kittle to the next tight end is pretty severe. So maybe you sit Kittle the last couple weeks.
Even I don't know if you need to give someone two if they need it to get healthy, but even a bye week. I mean, I think if this is why you want to win these games is because you do want to give, especially week 17 or whatever it is, 18, whatever's the last game, you want to give guys as much rest. It becomes your another bye. and a 1 week bye for these guys in the NFL is like heaven. I mean, these guys' bodies.
Oh, I mean, I think that they're lucky that they have this Thursday game so late in the season, especially with this kind of lead they have, because they're going to get a mini bye, which is important.
Right. They're going to get 11 days between the next game.
A lot of guys were talking today about how this game Thursday night is just a get through it game. Nick Bosa said that today at his locker. He's like, look, we just got to we're dinged up and it's a quick turnaround. We just got to kind of get through this game, get the W, and keep rolling.
I mean, I'm not afraid to go to Minnesota and play them. If they win the first, win the wild card weekend, and then
yeah, but also I feel like it's a lock if Minnesota comes to San Francisco that we win. But it's things could get tricky. I mean, that's like one of the few home fields that they give a true 3 points to.
I think Rye keeps going with the we.
The we, man.
I hope you score a couple touchdowns too, because you haven't scored any touchdowns yet this year. Brian says,
wait, Larry, I actually was thinking about it, and it's like, well, I mean, who signs my paychecks? You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's true.
That's true. Our paychecks may say Niners on them. We might want to say we. Maybe we'll say we loudly in the locker room.
As the organization.
Or maybe we should walk into the locker room and then just say, instead of saying hi to guys, just go, let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! We are here to win it! Could you imagine?
It's just like, oh, gosh.
Let's do this!
Why don't you get everybody in the room and say, hey, everybody in the center, Niners on 3. 1, 2, 3. Niners. Yeah. Larry leads it.
Do it Larry, for Coccimilgio.
When I say Larry, you say. All right. I brought up to
chat because we want to make sure we pay these off. We've got this one from Glass Half Full Guy, $4.99. Hey Dan, thank you for being the rational Giants fan. On a related note, in hindsight, I would have preferred Farhan say nothing about being big in free agency. Yeah. You think now maybe they shouldn't have talked so big? Yeah. Now in hindsight, maybe they shouldn't have talked such a big game since they weren't going to, I don't know, back it up, walk the walk.
When we get to the Giants, I've got a lot to say because I did put out one of my patented trades again.
So. Oh, you got a trade?
I do have another trade.
Oh, wait a second. Save that. Sit on that one for a second. Eric Hernandez says, talk is cheap, so is Farhan. Wow. That's a nice little attack there. How about this one? We'll move all around here. Brian says, Krug, why do you think the Warriors defense is so much worse than last year? I think this year we understand that we need to get bigger. Looney isn't cutting it. I think lack of size is a factor. I think the lack of Mike Brown could be a factor. How could not having GP2 not hurt? I mean, GP2 was, I think, one of the best on-the-ball defenders I've seen in the NBA in the last decade. And he was on this team last year, and every time they needed him, they went to him. So I think they miss. If I had to rank them, I'd say number 1, GP2, number 2, Mike Brown, number 3. They could use another. They were expecting Wiseman to give them a defensive presence at the 5.
I love Brown, but I'd put out a Porter above number 2.
What's that?
I love Brown.
Otto Porter?
Yeah, I'd put Otter Porter too. He was
He was a pretty good shooter too.
And rebounder, kept the ball alive so much on the offensive board. Yeah, he was clutch.
But the buyout market's going to be sweet, though. I was already looking.
Who's going to be in that? I mean, I had heard the one name I saw today that I thought, that would be a guy I would be interested in the buyout market if he gets there, is Nerlens Noel. I think if Nerlens Noel winds up to the buyout market, I'd be interested. I don't know if he will, but.
So I was thinking, obviously, I think this is a unique year because of Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson. And I think if a team that's kind of like not that great to begin with, that's maybe fighting for a play-in game, if they maybe one of their stars gets injured and has to miss some time, they may just shut them down for the year and start, disassembling their roster to try and, tank. So I was thinking, there was all this talk about Miles Turner trades and Jacob Poeltl trades and whatnot. But Miles Turner's on the last year of his deal. So is Poeltl. I mean, if any of their guys, if Halliburton goes down, they may just. I mean, the guy's been in rumors for 3 years. I don't think they're going to sign
Turner's
him.
been in rumors for years.
So
exactly.
I think there's a good chance they just buy him out, or then same thing with Pearl. And then here's another one I'm going to throw out there: the Chicago Bulls have been really disappointing this year and have been dealing with injuries.
I know you're going after.
They're
If
11 and
DeRozan
15, they're the 11 seed.
If DeRozan or Levine misses significant time, or they just kind of stay in this mediocrity,
Caruso?
I could see them buying out Vucevic.
Oh, Vucevic.
Ooh,
yeah,
that would be a get.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that might be good. I heard the Warriors
That would be
were
great if Vucevic is on the buyout market. Oh my God!
I
man.
know. I
go
started
to Joe Lacob and
fantasizing
say,
about it.
Joe, I know it's $52.50 for 3 beers. Let's make it an even 55, and let's get Vucevic here.
Seriously,
right?
Yeah, I heard they were interested in before Christmas trying to get Nerlens here for the Christmas Day game against Memphis.
Oh, stop!
No, well,
That is so bad. That is so bad. That is so bad.
You knew it was coming.
Here's the question of the night. It is December 13th. The Warriors are 14-14. They're 4.5 games out. They currently sit in the 10th spot. Sacramento 14-12, 1 game in front. Will the Warriors or the Kings, as by January 1st, have the better record?
Oh, by January 1st. I don't know.
2 weeks. 2
Kings
weeks
probably. Warriors have a tough.
Yeah. I'm hoping they just go 3-3 on this trip.
Yeah.
The interesting team to me to watch, I think, in the NBA, because the NBA, okay, so the season starts around Halloween, right? And then you find out what you have in November and December. And typically in January, you start to hear lots of trade rumors. And then by February, that's the trade deadline, and that's when the deals get consummated. The team that I'm looking at, and I'm really eager to see where they go, is Toronto in the East. Toronto's 13-14. They're in the 9 seed in the East right now, and they're the kind of team that could pivot and make moves and go in a different direction and start to sell a little bit. And I just think that they're a team that I really want to see what they look like. Later this year, because like they've got OJ Anunoby, who's a 6'7" small forward who, could help Golden State. Scotty Barnes is an incredible player. He makes $7.6 million still in his
I think
deal.
he's untouchable.
But I mean, let's just say you wanted to trade Jonathan Kuminga and James Wiseman. I'm just saying you could get a guy like Scotty Barnes for Jonathan Kuminga.
I'm not ready to trade Kuminga.
What about James? How about this? How about James Wiseman and Moses Moody?
I don't think they're trading Wiseman.
I think they'd need to do like Wiseman, Moody, and like 3 or 4 firsts.
I don't think they're gonna trade.
Barnes has kind of regressed a little bit this year. How much have you watched of Toronto? Because I think not only are those guys available, I think Barnes. I don't know about Barnes. I think Anunoby could be available. The other guy is Siakam. Siakam, he makes a grip of cash, $35 million, and it would probably take it's going to take something significant to get him.
I think it would take less than Barnes. Like I could see them maybe trading. But I mean,
Siakam. Here's the thing: Siakam makes $35 million, so you have to make the salaries. So all I'm saying is, like, if you wanted Siakam and you want to trade Wiseman, you could trade Wiseman. But then Wiseman, you still have to come up with about $20 million of salary. So you'd have to move somebody significant. Where if you did get them interested in any kind of a deal for Scotty Barnes, you could move Wiseman and Moody and
I think the problem is that if anyone found out Barnes was available, like OKC would be like, we have 50 first round picks. Here's 7 of them.
I know, but like what's to maybe a young up and coming rebuilding team, maybe James Wiseman and Moody and a pick might be attractive. I'm just saying, if you're Golden State, I said it 3 weeks ago and I'll stand by it. I don't see Golden State repeating unless Wiseman becomes part of the rotation or they trade Wiseman in a deal that brings in somebody that becomes part of the rotation. They won't be able to do it with Wiseman
I
not
see
being in
that.
the rotation.
I could see that. I do think they're going to hang on to Wiseman just because they made an investment. They're going to see what he can do. And I think
people would be trading like absolute BS for him.
They've got 14. It depends if Iguodala is going to make an appearance at some point later in the season and be.
He's a non-factor.
But I mean, I'm talking about
Danny. He's just there to bring.
Let me finish my thought, guys. Let me finish my
floor.
thought. My thought is that if he's not going to play, give up his roster spot.
No, they're not going to do that.
But they have another roster spot that's open now.
Exactly. But then you can get two guys because they're really a couple of veterans, in my view. As I watch more, Lamb, he's a two-way guy, but I don't think he's going to
just get rid of Lamb and those bums. You
don't have enough. You don't have enough.
Iguodala is essential according to Draymond and Steph. So
he's going to be on the bench, whether he's a coach.
Yeah, I mean, just talking to Kerr the other day, Dan, he thinks that Andre is the key. This is what he's told me. He said Andre is the key to Jonathan Kuminga's emergence.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I love having Andre.
And he doesn't want to be a coach, Dan.
Yeah, but is he going to just never suit up?
It's going to be like Udonis Haslem for the Heat.
I think for the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to. That's a great one, Dan. I don't think he is going to suit up. I really don't. I think he's going to suit up like maybe 2, 3, 4 games at some point in April. Maybe I don't think we're going to see. I'd be shocked if we see Iguodala play more than 6 games.
Andre needs to get it. If you're going to use him for the playoffs, you need 15 games.
Are they going to use him in the playoffs?
I think that's the plan. I do.
He's 38 years old. That doesn't.
They still believe he has enough to help.
You know what, Dan? What they think? They think that he can help them off the floor. And according to Kerr, he has helped Kuminga off the floor.
I don't know why you would use a roster spot for that.
Because you need him in the locker room. It changes the dynamic if he becomes a coach. It's completely different. You're no longer in the locker room. You're no longer one of the guys. You're working with the coaching staff. So it just changes everything. Like
your money's different.
Your money's way different. Way different. How do you think Steve Kerr would like being outpaid by Andre Iguodala?
It can be a.
Just get rid of Michael Green then or something.
It makes sense. I think what Dan is suggesting makes sense. I just don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah,
because I think he's there to help.
You can get a Caruso and a
Baldwin,
Vucevic, or a Miles Turner and a buyout, and you got two guys like that. I mean, that just makes them all of a sudden. And they can actually do that if they do cut somebody.
Yeah, like Andre's not going to be like in the way of any signings.
You know what is weird, by the way? Can I just throw this in? You know what's weird about the whole NBA situation is that, like, Golden State doesn't look very good, right? I mean, they can't win on the road. They're awesome at home, but they don't look that good right now. They're barely a playoff team if the season ended today. They're a 500 team.
Oh my God. Wait. Carlos Correa just signed with the Giants.
Did he really?
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding. Let me see this. Let me see this.
13 years.
Where is that? Where'd you get it?
Jeff Passan.
Yes. Breaking. Carlos for 47 seconds. Brian breaks the news.
Is that the same? Is that the right Jeff Passan?
I'm going to look and if he has 1 million followers. Yep, 1 million followers.
Does it mention that he's short and stands on a box?
Wow.
No, I'm just joking. That was a mean shot. All right, Jeff Passan.
That's a lot of deals.
13,350.
That's a lot of years.
I told you it was going to go 350, but they got the AAV down.
How old is he? Like 28?
He's 28, 40, yeah.
I mean, I'm stoked.
The Giants needed that so bad. Bad.
Now you go get your outfielder.
now you trade Luciano.
Finally got his biggest deal. Everybody's retweeting. Larry, Dan.
I just tweeted cha-ching. Cha freaking ching. Well, now we know what we're talking about, and I would imagine the chat's going to get a little busier here in the next couple minutes. And we had yet to talk Giants.
I know. Shit. Should we like change the title of the
We're going
stream?
to Giants now. Executive decision made, right, Larry?
I don't know. Do we need it? We're on. Do we really need to change
Well,
anything?
I mean, like the people that know us know that, but like people that will see this are just going to see like Warriors Bucks post game. Like,
What do you
we're
want
not
to
going
create a new? You want to tell everybody we're going to come back in with a new
Yeah,
thing? Giants sign
This one,
Correa?
Romo 2001. Giants cannot use money as an excuse. Everyone knows they are loaded. Not to mention what glass half full guy said about how front office is hyped about free agency. Well, so much for that, Romo.
Why don't why don't we do this? Why don't we
disappointed
create
in
a
Farhan's comments. I'm not a Farhan hater, but he might need to go. Love the show. The recovery 716. I'm just trying to pay these off.
Right, you create
because
a new
people
one?
have donated. Should we all jump into another stream, right?
Let's do that because it'll pull more people with Correa. Put breaking news: Giants sign Carlos Correa live right now. Join the Krueg show.
I can just put that. I can just tweet that.
And then let's everybody in the chat. We're going to back out and then sign back in. There's 169 of you. I want to see 500. We'll just come right back on once we create this. So be looking at your phone, your laptop, whatever you're looking at. And Romo says that didn't age well. Disappointed in Farhan's comments. I'm not a Farhan.
Seriously,
you might need to go. Love the show. And then Romo says that didn't age well. So we're going to try.
Breaking news on the Krueg show. It happened while we were on.
Yes. Come on, everybody.
Breaking now on the Krueg show. If you're just tuning in, Carlos Correa is a San Francisco Giant.
Why don't you invite Willard on right now? He would love this.
I can throw you. Should I throw Willard an invite?
Well, let's. Do you want to create a new one, Rye? Or what do you think? Let's wait till we create the new one, the invite. So we got a new. I guess you just have him come in, right? Invite it, pull him in. Just so we just sign Willard. I mean Correa.
Sign Willard.
Mark Willard's our new.
How disappointed would the Giants fans be? The Giants have given $350 million to Mark Willard. All right, let's see. We have Mark in here. I can text it to him.
Rise creating.
Well, Danny, give us your thoughts. What do you think?
I love the deal. I don't care about the terms. I just think they needed a star. Now you can build around him. Maybe the plan is adding all these pitchers that we're signing. Maybe they're looking to shop Kyle Harrison and go for something big like the Ohtani. I said out in a tweet today, just a little before the show started, why not? The only way the Giants are ever going to get Ohtani is by trading for him. They won't win out in a free agency war because the Dodgers will make sure of that. So go ahead. Let's trade Kyle Harrison, Luciano. Now we got our shortstop for the next decade and a half. Let's go ahead, shop Luciano, Kyle Harrison, Luis Matos, and Reggie Crawford. That's 4 guys, some that all top guys that have potential. Maybe throw in one of our starters, and let's bring in Ohtani and offer him 10 years, $500 million deal, or 12,600. I'd even go 12,600.
So what were the terms? It was how many years?
13 years at 350. So that's going to be an AAV of just about
327 a year, 26.9.
Yeah, that's manageable. They still have money to spend right now. So
this gives them the ability to trade Marco Luciano for something big time, because Luciano is the one prospect that they have that they can now afford to trade that will fetch. They have Crawford in the present. Now they've got Correa, and he's the future. I mean, 13 years. The commitment going forward at shortstop is Carlos Correa. He is the centerpiece star of the Giant lineup. Here's the question. If you're a young Giants fan, is Carlos Correa excite you? Are you going to run out and buy a Carlos Correa jersey?
Correa jersey will sell. Yeah.
MF says Corbin Burns. Yeah, I think Corbin Burns is exactly the direction I would go. Try to see if you can trade Marco Luciano in a deal for Corbin Burns. If you have Corbin Burns and Mania and Logan Webb, and now you've got big time starting pitching.
I got another idea for you.
That would be the direction I would try to go. I don't know if you get Burns for Luciano, but I would try.
Here's another guy you can get without having to trade your future. I mean, trading your future. Go out now and sign Dansby Swanson and make that your new double play combination for the next 10 years. You'd have the best solid infield defense. Add Casey Schmidt at third base. Now you're winning with defense and pitching, and you got some pop with Correa and Haniger. And then you take Estrada and one of your pitchers and trade him for maybe a top flight outfielder. Maybe you get Mullins, Cedric Mullins or something like that.
From Baltimore. That would be a good call.
And then you get
Cedric Mullins would be a good guy to I mean, they right now, the way I look at the Giants outfield, you got Haniger in left, and in an ideal world, you got Yaz in right. So center field is the hole, right? If you can get Brian Reynolds out of Pittsburgh, do it. If you can get Cedric Mullins, do it. Obviously Correa's at short. You got Crawford at third probably until Casey Schmidt comes up. You'll still have JD Davis. Who knows? I don't think they're going for Dansby Swanson, but
if you can get Swanson to play second base and the money's there, I mean, you could probably get Dansby.
But don't they have bigger needs at this point in center field, starting pitching?
That's what I'm saying.
Bullpen.
Now you can take Estrada and one of these extra pitchers, maybe an Alex Wood or a DeSclafani. You get rid of DeSclafani, you got rid of $12 million. Now
Joe Young says re-sign Rodon, get Andrew Benintendi and JD Martinez.
There you go. I mean, the Giants still have the money. They're only at $27 million for Correa. They're sitting at about still under $200 million for the year. AAV.
We've had a hot week on the Krueg show, by the way, with the whole Purdy stuff and now breaking the Correa news while we're on the air.
Yeah.
At this point, we're rolling pretty good. The Recovery 716 says, here's $1.99. I heard it here on the Krueg show first. LFG. There you go.
You got that thing created yet, Ryan?
Dan, I am doing it.
Oh, come on, man.
Should we bail out? We got 220.
Let's wait till we have that. Let's wait till we have it ready so that we can immediately go on within 1 minute.
Jeff Taylor says 13 years is a little gnarly, no? Hey, look, this is the market that you're in. Do you want to compete in this market, or do you want to sit there and cry over spilt milk and say, you know what? Things are expensive. You know what? Yeah, things are expensive, but guess what? Gambling money is entering the sport. The TV money's going nothing but up. The revenue is shooting up, and this is what it takes to make it happen. And I don't want to hear the Giants complain about the prices. They own their own ballpark. They own it outright. They don't even have a mortgage.
Somebody in here, I got to find them. Somebody in here got on me for saying, keep Reggie Crawford. So you would keep Reggie Crawford if it prevented, instead of getting Shohei Ohtani?
No, come on. Reggie Crawford is years away.
Come on. You get
Will
Shohei.
Jim 209. Will Jim 209 says, Giants can now trade Marco Luciano and or a starting pitcher for a center fielder.
Yeah, I just said that, actually. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Dan, but I mean, the guy donates $1.99. I got to read that.
So here it is. Hella, whatever. Hella this, hella that. Keep Reggie Crawford. You wouldn't include him if the Angels said, we'll give you Ohtani, but we want Reggie Crawford.
Well, let's be honest.
Hey guys, sorry.
What are the Giants
I'm
really
sending
need?
it to you guys. I'm sending you the thumbnail to tweet out.
All right.
I said it for
What do the
8:05.
Giants need right now? They need a draw, because I don't know that Correa is a real draw. So a guy like Ohtani makes a ton of sense. The question is, do they have the do they have the pieces to make that kind of a trade? I'm tweeting this out, so if you guys
pieces, because you would have Am I muted or can you hear me
No.
right? Oh, okay.
You're good.
They have the pieces because you could do Harrison, Luciano, Crawford. I wouldn't make any deals though unless I had a contract agreement already in place. There's no way I'm getting rid of, 4 top prospects, for somebody that might walk at the end of the year. I don't think it takes as much as
13 years, 350 million. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I don't think it takes as much because of, when Soto was traded, the Padres had to give up 4 top prospects plus one of the players. I can't remember.
13 years. 13, Brock Purdy.
So the 4 prospects that San Diego gave up, plus who they give up? Hosmer in the deal too? Oh, no. Hosmer rejected it, and then they gave up Voit, right? Luke Voit.
Right.
Yeah. So, but Soto had 2.5 years of control. Otani's walking after this year. You get
all right.
nothing.
I just tweeted it out. Should we jump?
No, let's wait 2 more minutes because we can get on immediately. Let's tell it's 9 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock. Is that right? Yeah. 9 o'clock. We set it for 9:05. So we could stay on here for 2-3 more minutes and then tell everybody.
How about we just stay on for 3 more minutes with you explaining how we're going to stay on?
Exactly. Okay. So we're going to stay on, everybody, for another 3 minutes. What we're going to do is we are going to sign off this particular live.
Wait a second. We should probably should find out. Dan, do you still have time? You got time to hang with us for the second part of this as we move? Do you got time, or I know you might have to go.
It's 10 o'clock here.
I know you got some other things. Do you have You don't have an HOA meeting or
no? We got a
dog bathing or anything like that.
Bathing,
you can actually hang.
Danny,
you can hang with us.
Yeah, and look at the size of that hand, baby.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at that! Those tiny mittens. Oh man, Farhan's got him in his mighty mitts.
I mean, I have been on Farhan, and I'm going to give him credit. He got.
Oh, look at you! You have been on Farhan. You really should apologize, Dan. The things that you've said about Farhan are terrible.
Well, let's see. Do we have any more? I heard this one on the. Yeah, let's make sure we didn't have any chats that we didn't. Super chats that we didn't.
Anonymous says, "Stay here, Larry. You have 168 more viewers in the last 15 minutes alone. No need to move."
Yes, but everybody go to look at your YouTube.
All right, let's do this. We are going to move because we want to make sure that we get the most Giant fans going tonight.
Yes.
So we are going to move. So
here's the title out there. You could look it up right now on your on YouTube. It says breaking news: Carlos Correa to the San Francisco Giants live reaction Krueg show. So we are going over there.
Here's the question. First of all, Anonymous says mute Dan. Oh, that's not right.
Come on.
Sawyer Stewart said Dan renewing his tickets tonight. Renewing tickets?
I'm going to wait and still see. I want to see some more. I want to see a little bit more.
Oh, look at that.
So
is Ned coming on? Should we think is Ned? Do we just dial up Ned in the middle of the night? What time is it? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. That's
glass half full. We got to get his $4.99.
Let me see. I'll invite Ned. Let me see. Hold on.
See if you hear anything back from Willard. Hey, glass half full, $4.99. Thank you. Yes, finally, a deal is done. Nick J says Correa. 9 Empire 101. Dial up Willard. Dusty Gold, exciting news from the Krueger bunker.
Willard said it's busy night, but he'll try soon. He's putting his kid to bed.
Okay. Dan, are the season tickets in the mail? So Nick O'Teen says, invite Farhan. Yeah, there's nobody else talking right now. Yeah. So
Willard
invite
says
Farhan.
I'll send him a new invite when we
Hey,
chat.
there's people in there asking if this live feed is a trick of some sort, so we should probably jump over.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, everybody. Wait. Who made the last donation here? We got this one. We got this one.
I got it. I already got it.
Yeah, finally.
So we'll be on in 1 minute. We're going to sign off, and we'll see you in 1 minute.
Jeremy says have Willard do his Kapler impersonation. If Willard comes in there, we'll ask him about it. All right, join us next. We will jump over right now. See you all there on the Krueg Show.